what do you want? Like volume? Do you want like hybrid? Do you want like a classic? She was like, you know what? I want something super full, super dark, super fluffy. And I was like, I do it. I do exactly what she asks for. As I'm lashing her, she's telling me, girl. She said, girl, this set was not it. I don't love it. I don't know what you did to me, but they're too long, they're too full, and they're too fluffy.
Hey guys, we're here with the Lash Live, and I want to introduce you guys to a guest of the past. Her name is Alice. So I have some great news. Alice is actually going to be my co-host here on the Lash Live, and I'm just so excited. Oh my God.
It's gonna be so fun.
This is gonna be fun, guys. I feel like Alice and I have this like connection.
I feel like I see myself as you in the future. And then I feel like when you would tell me about like your past stories, I'm like, oh, look, I got Chinita on my screen. I was just like, oh my God, like you did so much and now you're here.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're just pulling me like, okay, you're coming
Alice
with me.
is like my little big lash sister. Big because she's tall, and I'm short. You can't tell because we're sitting, but she's like my little big lash sister.
Literally.
Yes, but welcome her, guys, in the comments. Welcome Alice. She's going to be a big part of this show. She's going to be doing a lot of videos with tips and tricks for you guys. Alice has actually been lashing for a couple of years now. She's licensed, certified, and she's been through a lot of stuff that she can probably help you guys with, like I said, some tips and tricks. So stay tuned for a lot of her videos. She's going to be a lot on our channel. She's going to do a lot of different projects. So stay tuned for that. But Alice, welcome. So
Thank you. And I'm so excited to share everything that I know with you guys and just extend all of my little bit, but a lot of knowledge to everyone in the industry, because just like we were once where we were and we are now,
yes,
you guys can also be where we were and where we are now.
Yes, absolutely. This is an amazing opportunity because I feel like there's so many questions when you're a lash artist. There's so many questions. There's so many things that happened. And sometimes there's some of you that don't have that person that's like, do this, or hey, try that, or say this, right? And so our main topic today is dealing with difficult customers. I know y'all have had one.
My favorite.
Right? Our
My
least favorite, actually. So again, there's some of you that are like, what do? I don't want to see this customer. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what communication, right? So let's talk about difficult customers and how to deal with them. Okay, Alice, tell me about a difficult customer.
I don't like to deal with them.
I know. It's, it protect your energy.
Yes,
First of all, protect your energy. This is your business. This is your lash hustle. I know that sometimes we got to take them in as they come because we need the money or we need the practice or whatever it is, right? Because you're just starting out. But there's no rule or law that says you have to take in a difficult customer, right?
And at the end of the day, that's why you choose to become your own boss.
Yes.
So you can pick and choose what you want to do.
Exactly.
And it's not just picking and choosing what we want to do on a day-to-day basis, but to who we want to service eventually in the industry. Because there is those clients that it's just impossible to work with.
Absolutely.
You will have those. It gets impossible. And I know we have to always kind of say, just like every other business, the customer is always right, even though they're not always right. But we have to find a way to kind of connect them and make them feel like they're always right, but educating them as of what was wrong.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's just customers that are just jerks. So
yeah,
kick them to the curb.
Yeah, no, literally.
We'll show you how. We'll show you how. Okay. So anyway, dealing with difficult customers. I have had some people, some lash techs say, "Hey, Anna, I had a customer the other day and she was just so rude to me. Like, she wasn't communicating with me. She was just rude to me. She was very, very like, with her words, very short. And she's like, I just didn't understand what I was doing wrong and why she keeps coming to me. And I'm like, maybe it's just her attitude. You know what I mean? Some people just, they're
Are
very
dry.
Yeah, they're
people.
very dry. And so just let them relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's those people, then you want to communicate with everybody and you're that friendly type and you're like,
Me?
hi.
Tell me how to choose my girl. What
Yeah,
happened?
what happened? But they're very like,
Good night.
you know, and they don't want to connect. Sometimes people don't have the time to relax. And so when my customers come in and they're very quiet,
That's
I
their
try
me
to,
time.
yeah, that's their
That's
time.
their
I
me
try
time.
to make a little conversation just to kind of test the water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so how's the weather? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What'd
Like,
you have for
it's-
lunch?
yeah, like it's hot outside, huh? And then if they start
You
getting
get-
chatty, yeah, if they start getting chatty, then that's your cue. Okay, cool, I can chat with her. But if they're like, like Alice said, like, then you're like, okay, this is my cue to just let her relax.
Like, shut up, girl. Let her
Yeah,
sleep.
exactly. So they're not trying to be rude.
But they want to
If
take
that,
a nap. They
yeah,
wanna
if
relax.
that happens, they're not trying to be rude. Some of them just really are tired. I have a customer that I love to death, and we're always chatting all the time. But once in a while, she has migraines. And so she's like, I'm sorry, girl, I really don't want to talk right now. And I don't take that as like, oh my God, she's being rude. I totally understand that. She just, she wants this time to kind of relax. She has such a busy day that with her migraines, laying in bed now, this is the only time she has to
Yeah,
kind of let
yeah.
this, you know?
To kind of
And
just
so-
let it sit.
Yeah. So don't take some of those customers as being rude. Let them
I mean,
be.
but it all comes back to communication, though.
Yes.
Like I feel like as a lash tech, you start building this connection with your client
Mhm.
that you're gonna learn to read the room
Yes.
the second they walk in.
Absolutely.
You're gonna sounds funny, but I feel like I feel people's energy, and I feel like you do that a lot
I do
too.
that too.
You can kind of just see like, oh, she's having a bad day. And sometimes they'll walk in and you're like, hey girl, like how are you? They'll be like, girl, I'm having a bad day. Like this is happening. Do you want to talk about it? Sometimes they'll be like, you know what? Yes, listen to me.
Yeah.
And then there's days that they'll tell you like, no, girl, I don't want to talk about it. You know what? Turn off the light, turn on your lamp, put
Yeah.
on some relaxing, like
Mhm.
meditating music. And I
Yeah.
promise you that they are gonna be so grateful.
Yes.
But you do have to learn to kind of read your clients, and you want to
Yeah.
keep that communication so
That's
that we
true.
know what's going on and not misinterpret it as
yes.
them being rude.
Yeah. Let them relax.
Yeah.
You know, if they're a little.
And it gets fast. I mean, I feel like when
Yeah.
they're asleep, I feel like I work faster.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Don't mind going to sleep.
I love talking to my clients. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like when I'm talking too much, I'm just taking longer because I'm like, what?
I'm so chonita. Yeah, I'm like, girl, stop.
Yeah, and so like all those little gestures that I'm making behind the scenes.
Or I have to pick up your juices like, what?
Yeah, like it's taking me a little more time, right? But anyway, so if you get that little vibe that's like, oh, like I don't like this vibe, like it's weird, let them relax. Don't talk to them, let them relax. And then at the end, show them, hey, look, do you like it? Is it okay? Is this everything okay? Like, is this what you wanted? If for any reason, you know, you have that customer, it's like, no, I don't like this at all. Don't don't go to the offense, you know, immediately.
Like, how do you not like my work?
Yeah, like don't go to the offense immediately because you need to understand that sometimes we need to stop and we need to listen. Okay. And when someone says that they don't like something about what you did, automatically you want to be very, very, you know, offended by it.
No.
But you want to stop and you want to say, what don't you like about it?
Let's fix it.
Yeah,
Let's fix it right now.
Fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What don't you like? Well, this corner back here, I just don't like it. Or I feel like I have a gap here. Let's take a look. Lay back down, girl. Let's get this done. You know, you don't want to get so offended so easily. And sometimes there are some lash techs in the past that I have run into, you know, and they're like, yeah, like she just didn't like it. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, girl, just fix it.
But then it's like, what did you do to fix it?
yeah, like, did
Because
you fix it?
always want your clients to walk out.
Yes.
They have your art in their eyes, so you want them to
Exactly.
walk out as pleased,
Mhm.
as happy, as content with your work.
Yeah. So if
So-
there's something that they don't like, you want to absolutely communicate with your customer and find out what is it.
Yeah.
Let me fix it for you before you leave, right?
Yeah.
Even if this customer is just the most rude customer ever,
Mm-hmm.
you want to grit your teeth and you want to smile and say, let me fix it for you, girl. Right? And then
I
after that, you're
guess.
like, you ain't never booking here again,
Yeah.
girl.
I had a girl like that. I had a client. Oh, I had a girl. I'm not gonna say the whole story, but I had a client, right? She shows up to my house not only an hour early and knocks. I'm here for my appointment. I'm still in bed. You're an hour early.
You're like, what?
Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean you're outside? She's like, yeah, girl, I'm outside for my appointment. And I'm like, your appointment's not till 8. It was 7 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you know what? Let me do it. Let me get started. So I get up, I get ready, whatever. I'm like, hey girl, come in. Like, let's do your lashes, right? And she's in my page, and I had lashed her maybe like 5 times before. So it was something, it was always something, but it was as in like, I don't like your pillow. I don't like your music. Can you change your sanitizer smell? Like things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know what? Yes, girl, like I would go wash my hands, like throw in another sanitizer. Like, I'm like, you know what? Let me order a new pillow. Maybe it is the pillow and no one wants to tell me. I ordered a new pillow. Music, she was like, she asked for this rock band music. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's like, in the room, and I was like, oh God, I have to lash to this. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. That's what she wants to hear. And then once she complained, what did she complain about? I don't remember, but those were the top 3.
Oh my goodness.
So the time that she gets there early, she's like, I'm like, all right, babe, so what are we doing today? Like, I always call my girls babe. Like, I just feel like, they're like, oh, like she likes me, which I love all my girls, but I just feel like it helps us, like, I don't know, like, I think it's tiernito, like, aw. So I'm like, hey, babe, what are we doing today? And she's like, let me see. Girl, she starts scrolling all the way down to my Instagram to my first picture. And I'm like, there is no way that you want a set like my first set. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad, but I was like, okay, like, all right. And she's like, I can't find anything that I like. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, then tell me what you want.
But you're here.
Right.
With me.
You know.
That owns all those pictures and did all that work.
But you want to come to me. And you still coming to me. This was like her 5th or 6th
What is going on?
And I was just like, okay, like, yeah. I'm like, so what do you want? And keep in mind, when I'm having a consultation with my client, I like to look at them. So we sit there and we're talking.
Right.
And she's like, girl, I just don't know. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what do you want? Like volume? Do you want like hybrid? Do you want like a classic? She was like, you know what? I want something super full, super dark, super fluffy. And I was like, okay, are you sure? We've never done it before. She was like, yes, girl, just the whole thing. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what about lengths? Do you want them shorter? Do you want them longer? And she's like, I just want super long, dark, full lashes.
Okay.
And she had beautiful eyes. So I was like, you know what? Any set she does, she can rock it.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, okay, the volume. Do you want it wispy? Do you want it textured? Or do you just want open eye, cat eye? Like what kind of, she's like, you know what, do longer in the middle and shorter in the outer corners and the inner corners. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do like an open eye, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. I do exactly what she asked for. As I'm lashing her, she's telling me, are you almost done? I have a meeting. And I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, I have a meeting at 10. That's why I showed up at 7.
Excuse me?
And I was like, keep in mind, this is when I was only like maybe a year into lashing.
Yeah.
No, maybe like almost a year and a half-ish. And I was like, my timing wasn't the best. So I was like, girl, I'm like, you can't rush me. I'm like, yes, girl. I'm like, in a few more minutes, like, I'm almost done. She's like, okay, because I have to go. And like her face is just like, I have to go.
I hate when that
So I
happens.
was like, okay, you know, whatever, it's cool. So I'm just like there, short talk, you know, our vibes were already a little bit off. Only because she scrolled all the way down to Narnia. I was like, what do you want me to do? But okay. So then I finish and she runs out. She doesn't pay me, nothing. She's like, all right, girl, I gotta go. Like, I'll zell you right now. So I'm like,
okay. Did she pay you?
First of all, why are you zelling me if my thing says remaining balance must be paid in cash?
Yeah.
But that's not the point of the story. And then I think like maybe 3-4 hours go by and I still don't get the payment. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm going to give it by the end of the day. She had the meeting. She's busy. Like, but I put a reminder on my phone.
And then you get busy too. So you can't be like counting her either.
No.
Yeah, you
so
forget.
I just put a reminder. Like on my, I'm
me.
a lot on my phone. So I put like reminder, text, to make sure to send you the payment.
Oh my
so
God.
Time comes. And right when I'm texting her, she texts me. And she's like, hey girl, I hope as a professional, you know how to accept criticism. And I was like, of course. I was like, as a lash tech, you always want to accept criticism because that's what helps us grow.
Right, exactly.
Don't take it wrong. Criticism
I want to know what I'm doing wrong.
Bad if you don't tell me. Like, so talk to me, tell me. I'm like, yes, babe. I'm like, of course, that's what helps us get better and grow.
Yes.
I was like, what can I help you with? And she's like, I wish I still had the message. She was like, girl. She said, girl. This set was not it. I don't love it. I don't know what you did to me, but they're too long, they're too full, and they're too fluffy. What did she ask me for to begin with?
Girl.
And I was like, okay. I was like, do you want to come in for me to fix it? And she's like, girl, I'm too busy. Like, I can't make time for that. I'll just pick them out.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, like, that's not the healthiest thing to do. Like,
Please
just
tell me
come
she
in.
paid you.
Oh, yeah, she paid me. She paid me. She
Okay,
paid me. She
good.
paid me. She paid me. I asked her for that, like, after the conversation. Because
I
it
was
ended
like, girl,
pretty
do
well.
whatever you want to do with them lashes, girl, but you done paid me.
Right.
So if you want to burn them.
No. And I was still trying to fix it. I was like, no, girls, like, you know what? When can you come? And she was like, well, I get off of work at 10 p.m. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, you know what? Come on in. I'll fix it. So what did I do? I went in and I removed a lot of fans because she said it was too much, even though she asked me for a lot of fans. And then I just went in with classics and I was like, is this better? She's like, yes, girl, this is more subtle. Like, it suits my eyes so much better. Like, thank you. I'm so grateful. You got me in when I got out of work, blah, blah, blah. But after that, I was just like, I can't do this.
Turned
anymore.
off.
Yeah. I was like, I can't do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the key, guys. Whenever you have a difficult customer and you feel they're being unreasonable, because if you have some customers that are making some requests, you're like, okay, fine, I'll do it, right?
Yeah.
But when it's something like a difficult customer, I always tell everybody, grit your teeth, smile,
go with the flow,
go out of the way, do what you need to do for them to get them out of there and not talking shit about you, right? And then if you never want to book them again, don't book them again. But don't leave room for them to talk about you.
Exactly.
Okay. So what Alice did was like on point.
Yeah.
Okay. I serviced you. I fixed it. I fixed everything that you were complaining about. You left smiling, but you know what, girl? I'm booking you no more.
Yeah.
I'm here to invite you to come lash with us at academylash.com. Our online courses are available to you 24/7. If you can't get to one of our live trainings, I promise you that one of our online trainings is going to be for you. Don't forget that you can get your kit at the store, sign up for your course online, and you'll be all set, ready to join the Lash life. We'll see you guys later.
And that's
because I'm not going to do with this again. I'm not going to be doing this every day.
I don't want to. And the fact, like, you got there late, you're always complaining. So obviously, I'm not the best lash tech for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl,
we're not a good fit.
Yeah, we're not. And sometimes you will have those clients who won't fit. Like, you won't click with everybody. Even though you're such a happy person and I'm such a happy person, I love everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I can get along with everybody.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm like, maybe I'm the problem, but not everybody. No, I'm like, everybody loves me.
Yeah.
How do you dare you? But I decided to cut her off. Not in a rude way, but I did tell her. She tried to book with me multiple times, and I was just like, oh girl, I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm fully booked, blah blah blah. And then she was like, oh my God, you never make time for me. Again, she went back with the hostility, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm sorry, babe. I hate to say this to you. I was like, but from our past experiences, I'm not the best suited lash tech for you. I was like, here's a list of girls that you might like their work. I was like, I've been to them. I highly recommend them. That's so nice of you to do that. I was like, check them out. I was like, and let me know how it goes. I was like, but from our past experiences, I was like, it's obvious that I'm not the best suited lash tech for you.
You don't like something every time you come.
I was like, best of luck. I was like, best of luck, lots of love, Alice. And that was it.
That is perfect, guys. That's perfect. Because let me tell you something. Now with social media, people will post everything you tell them if you text back and are rude.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Quickly.
Yes. Even if they will leave all the ugly parts that they said, but they will post everything back. You know, so if you have a customer, a difficult customer that is texting you or messaging you on, social media and saying, you know what, I don't like this, I don't like that, I just don't like how you blah, blah, blah. And then you get very offensive and you're like, well, you know what, you don't have to come see me or you talk, whatever. They're going to screenshot everything and they're going to post it. And that's not going to look good on you because there's two sides to every story. And no one's going to... Three sides, you're right. And no one's going to see yours at all.
Ever.
Just theirs.
And when other people see it, all they're going to see is them having a bad experience. Yeah. And then who's the one that lost? Yeah. We're screwed.
It's making you look bad. Really. It's making you look bad. So I always tell everybody, like, if you have a customer that is constantly texting you with all this rude stuff, text them one time. If that's your intention to not ever lash them again, text them one time and say, I'm sorry that you and I were not a good fit for each other. Yeah. I hope that you can find someone that has, all your needs in mind, blah, blah, blah.
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I wish you the best of luck. Yeah. After that, You don't have to reply to any messages.
Anything, no.
If they reply and say, I hate you,
Yeah.
you suck, you know,
Yeah.
whatever it is that they reply,
Don't reply.
leave it on
Yeah.
red and
Mhm.
don't reply, because you know what? That makes you the bigger person.
Yeah.
You have better things to worry about. They're probably having a bad day, or they're just a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to deal with that. You don't have to deal
It's
with
too
that.
much.
You know what
It's
I
too
mean?
much.
That's too much.
No,
yeah,
I
girl,
can't.
there's like 1,000 lash techs in my area. Like, why? You know what I
Right.
mean?
I mean, where used to come
Yeah.
from?
I've had some that are like really rude, or that want their deposit back because they had emergencies 3 times in a row after I was
Yep.
being lenient, and was like, don't worry, I'll take
I
your deposit.
understand,
Yeah.
girl.
Like, I'm like, I'll take your deposit and you can reschedule due to your emergency. I'll leave it for your next appointment.
Yeah.
And then the next appointment. Oh my God, girl. I'm so sorry. I have
been
something.
done down the book of lies.
And then I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, but I can't keep doing this. I
Yeah.
have to take your deposit. I'm going to keep it. When you decide to book and when you're ready, then send a new deposit. And they're
Yeah.
like, how dare you take my deposit?
Mhm.
And it's like, this is what I get for being nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't have to do that. And it says in my rules that if you miss your appointment, ma'am,
Yeah.
that deposit belongs to me, because I am sitting here with my stuff ready for you, waiting for you here, and you don't show up and tell me, hey, 5 minutes before your appointment or
Yeah.
an hour before your appointment, like, I'm not coming. I could have given that appointment to somebody else. Do you understand that we don't get paid if you don't come?
We don't have PTO.
We don't. You know what I mean? We don't have PTO. Nobody pays us if you don't
Yeah.
show up.
Yep.
And if you don't show up, in our heads, we're like, dang, I had this other girl that wanted to book today.
So I had a list of girls.
know what
and
I
I'm just
mean?
like, what do you mean?
And like, you're not coming? I could have made my money, but
Yeah.
you decided that you didn't want to come, or I'm sorry that you had an emergency, or whatever the case, right? We try to work with you still. And
And you
then,
failed.
yeah, like, that's not okay, guys. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, Alice said, we don't have PTO
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
any of that
Yeah.
stuff. If you don't come, we don't get paid.
But that I feel like that's why, even if you're a beginner lash tech, whether you're just starting or whether you're most mega expert professional lash
Yeah.
tech there is, you have to stick to your policy 100% no matter who it is.
Your deposits, ladies,
Yeah.
is so important.
Because
I've
if you-
seen it
yeah.
so many times where they're
Mhm.
like, oh, I have 3 customers booked today. I'm so happy. And then
Yeah.
it's like, none of them showed up.
Yeah.
And how much money did you make, ma'am? Nothing. And
Yeah.
you were here all day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you charge deposits? Because I just really wanted them to come. No, ma'am,
Yeah,
they're not going to show
bye.
up.
Mhm.
They're not going to show up because there's nothing holding them to that appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So if their best friend says, hey, girl, let's go have drinks at 3 o'clock. We'll have a lash appointment. Come on, let's go have drinks. Okay.
I'm not gonna lose anything,
Yeah.
but we lose.
Yeah, but we lose.
So always respect yourself
Yes.
if you want others to respect
Most
you.
of the time, I think when customers are rude, it's because they don't want to follow a policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you haven't established it. So you
Yeah.
need to establish those policies.
Girl, even with my loyal clients, after booking every appointment, I send them a copy of the policy.
That's what I'm saying.
No matter who it is, like,
That's
you're
a
my
good
bestie,
idea.
you're everything to me.
Yeah.
Like, but this is my policy. And I have my best friends that have had like last minute cancellations for whatever reason, or like,
Mhm.
hey, Ali's like, da, 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 whatever the excuse may be. And they have shown up to my house, or even I've had a few of my friends that have overslept because I do lash my friends. They've overslept and they didn't show up to their appointment. And I'm like, hey, like, what happened?
What happened?
They'll show up to my house and they'll pay me the appointment in full.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I've
that's
had that
respect.
happen with
Yeah.
some of my customers. I've had some customers that are like, girl, I feel horrible for
Yeah.
missing your appointment. Can you please fit me in? I will pay you double
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
missing.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, girl. And I love
Yeah.
those customers
Yeah.
because they understand that we're sitting there waiting for them. And for them not to show up, it's just like, dang, I could have been making money, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, some of those customers that are rude, most of the time it's because they don't want to follow one of your policies. Hardly ever it's because they don't absolutely love your work, because you can always fix something like that.
Mhm.
But like I said, don't go into arguing with anybody.
Never.
Don't do it.
It's not worth your
It's
time
not
or
worth
your
it.
energy. It's really
No.
not.
Don't ever argue with anybody. And also, guys, let me tell you something. If you are licensed in the state of Texas, and I know some of you are some gangster boos out there. You know what I mean? Some of you are some gangster boos out there, and you're like, I'm going to fight her.
No. Look,
girl,
if you're
please.
lash tech and you fight, this is what makes us money. We can't fight.
I know. You can't, girl. You
Don't
can't.
fight. Please
okay?
don't.
Let me tell you something. And I tell a lot of my students this in my classes. I'm like, girl, if some girl wants to fight you, you need to think about everything that you have to lose. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Number one, in the state of Texas, if you get into a fight, that's assault and you could potentially lose your license. You know what I mean? Is that really worth it?
Nothing is worth me getting in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fight.
I know. It's like, why do you want to fight for?
Like,
Just
for
kick them out of your
what?
establishment. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
No, bye.
If you have a salon or studio or whatever, wherever it is, and they're like, oh, I'm not leaving, blah, 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 blah. Girl,
Call the
you
cops.
need to call the police
Yeah.
department and get them removed.
Call the cops.
Because that's more humiliating for them to get removed by a
Call the
police
cops.
officer.
Call the cops.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever had to do that?
I have not ever had to do that.
Okay. Me neither.
But I have been places where that has been done. And I'm just like, this is so ridiculous.
At the nail shop when they're like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for this.
Yes. I have been at other places where there's customers that are like just being so rude where they have to have called the police department.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing,
Yeah.
girl. Like you could have just gone on with your
Yeah.
life. You know what I mean? Why do you have to fight people?
I don't like to fight.
That's
know how
not
to
okay.
fight. I have my nails done.
Yes.
My hands
And,
made me
you
my
know,
money.
I don't get into an altercation with a customer over lashes. You know what I mean? If you have to get them out of your establishment and throw the money back at them, like, girl, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Do it.
Don't do that. But do it.
Yeah, but if you have to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like here. You know what? Here,
I'd rather you leave.
I'd rather lose $25
Yeah.
than for you to come in here and disrupt my peace. I don't
Yeah,
want that.
like, girl,
I don't
goodbye.
want that.
You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
want it.
And I tell my students, if somebody is like trying to be so aggravated with you and trying to attack you, don't give them that power.
Yeah.
It's not worth your license. This is your profession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what they do, but this is my profession. I'm not going to mess that up. If you don't like my work, girl, leave. Don't ever come back
Yeah.
again. That's fine.
That's it.
We don't need to exchange words. Don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
exchange words. Okay, gangster boo. Right? Like, don't do it. Like, just
Please
let them go. Let them go.
We're peacemakers over here.
Yeah, we're peacemakers. We're not gonna, I mean, I have too much to lose. I've worked
Way
so
too much.
hard for too many years to let someone
let
disrupt my
one
peace.
person
Yeah. They're
mess it all
probably
up.
not in a good place anyway.
No.
So
No.
I'm just like, bye, girl. Girl, bye.
Have you had any like difficult clients? Like, what's your like top? Like some person, a person that you're never gonna forget about.
Girl, I think I told you this story.
You probably have.
But
But repeat it. Tell them the story.
I haven't had like a really rude customer or difficult customer. Well, it was more difficult, right?
Okay.
Because every time I lashed her, and you're gonna be like, I already heard this story. Every time I lashed her, her lashes fell off.
Oh God.
Every time I lashed her, her lashes fell off, and she would text me
no.
every single time. Like the day after, she was like, "All my lashes fell off." Like not even in a nice
What
way.
did you do?
Girl, let me tell you, I was
When
like,
I tell y'all.
I was very lenient, and I was just like, you know, because you have to have really good customer service.
Yep.
So I was just like, in my salon, I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, what?
And you're doing the same thing for everybody else.
I'm doing it the same for everybody, and nobody else is complaining. Nobody else is calling me. Nobody else is texting me. And so I'm like, what did I do wrong? Let me go back and think. Did I forget to do this? I mean, no, I think I did everything, just to save face. Girl, come back. I'm going to fill it for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me
Especially if it's the next day. I'm like,
let me fix it.
what is going on? I did that like 3 times, guys. Each time she would text me, and
Same
she was
thing.
not nice. Again, she would be like, all my lashes fell off. Exclamation marks. And I was just like,
Why are you screaming?
okay, I'm going to help you out, girl. Come back. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to redo them for you. And she was like, when can you see me? And I'm like, I had to fit her in her schedule, right? Because
Yeah.
she worked.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Even though you work too.
yeah,
but okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I fit her in. I would see her. I would fill them in every single time. She'd go home happy. And it was like that for months when she would come, and I was just like breaking my head, like, what am I doing wrong? What's going on?
And you're giving away your work for free.
I'm giving away
to
my
keep a
work for
happy
free,
customer.
right? And so I'm trying to be like, okay, like, let me fix it. Let me do what I can on my part, so she's not out there talking bad about me, about how my lashes are just no good or whatever. Anyway, I find out from one of her, not friends, but someone that knows her. I started venting to her because she's a family member of mine. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like every time she comes, her lashes fall off. Like, girl, I don't know what to do. And she's like, wait, are you talking about this person? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, you understand that she works frying chicken, right? And I'm like, what? And she's like, and I was thinking, like, every time I lash her, she's always like, can you do that this time? Because I have to go to work after. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. You know, and I would rush and I would do her lashes because she had to go to work right after. And so I was just like, okay, yes. And so then I was like, she fries chicken. So she leaves my studio and then she goes and she fries hot chicken in a greasy,
Steaming chicken.
yes, in oil. And then her lashes are falling off. And I'm like, oh my God, it wasn't my fault.
Imagine they got chicken with lashes.
Girl, I'm not even going to tell you where it was at.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Because y'all probably got some lashes in y'all chicken. I don't know.
I saw on Facebook. No, I'm just kidding.
If it was a little crunch, no, I'm kidding. It wasn't chicken hair. It was like chicken feathers.
It was lash hair.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So she was being rude to me, and she was always like, all my lashes are falling off. I don't know what you're doing, but your lashes are falling. And I'm just like, oh my God, let me fix it.
Like what am I really doing?
And this girl's out here frying chicken after she gets her lashes done. And I don't know if there's chicken in the batter. I mean, who knows what happened, right? But after that, she came to me one last time and I called her out on it. And I said, don't you work at so-and-so? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you know that you're not supposed to be doing this right after your lash appointment. And she just didn't say nothing.
Keep in mind, all of this is included in the aftercare that we provide for every client after we lash them.
I tell them, and there's a lot of people that are not giving the information. You need to give this information.
Yes, always.
Because even if we give it, do you see the things that happen? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like even if we're giving them the information, there's still something going on, like frying chicken. You know what I mean? Like, do I have to put that on my aftercare cards? Do not fry chicken for 24 hours. I don't know. Like, what else do we include on there?
Any steam?
Yeah. So, guys, if you don't know, if you're new to the industry, you're a new lash tech, heat actually softens the bond to adhesive. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you that it helps it fall off, but it softens the bond.
Yeah.
So imagine the temperature to frying chicken. Okay. When you are an employee and you're frying chicken, most of the time you're sweating, right? Because it's so hot in that area when you're preparing food. And whenever you do that and you have lash extensions, that bond gets soft. So can you imagine wiping off her sweat during the day and maybe the sweat's going in her eye, the oils, all that stuff? She's messing with that bond. So when she gets home, do you think that her lashes are going to be 100% cured? No. They're not going to dry.
That's why we say don't
get them wet for 24 hours. And it's not because we're like, oh, we're so old school. I know, we'll do a subject on that later.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good segment. Yeah. That is a good segment.
We need to talk about the 24-hour period after your lashes.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
But don't go in steam after 24
yes.
hours. Let's just put it like that.
Hot oil
don't
steam.
Go around hot oil steams.
You know what I mean?
Hours.
Anyway, so that was my difficult customer that I had. I don't think I've had any other than that that are rude. Again, you have to have really good customer service. Like I said, even if you don't want to, guys, just do it to get them out. Because I always tell everybody, your customers are like walking billboards. They're advertising for you, right? If somebody says, hey, girl, who did your lashes? They're like, oh, yeah, she did.
Anna did them.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, girl, you need to go to her, blah, blah, blah. So they're your walking billboards. But they only talk about it when people ask. But if they have a bad experience, they're going to talk about it even if somebody doesn't ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always going to talk about it. So don't leave any room for your customers.
Judgment.
Yes, for your customers to give a bad review, whether it's in person or online or whatever. You know what I mean? Even when I feel like I have not done my best work, I have bad lash days. We all do. I'm like, hey, girl, I don't know, like I don't like it 100%.
I love them.
Yeah, they love them. And I'm like, I don't like them 100%. If for any reason you have any issues tonight or tomorrow, let me know. I'll fix them for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm very, very like 100% on customer service. And
that's what locks in your girls.
Yes, your customer service is what locks everything in your customer base. You know what I mean?
So when dealing with a difficult client, always put your customer service skills up front and just go with the flow. Customer at the end of the day is always right, even though they're not always right, but in the business industry, they are.
Sometimes they're misinformed.
Yeah,
sometimes they're misinformed.
They're misinformed.
They went to a lash tech that all she did was take an application course.
Yeah.
And knows nothing else.
That's it.
So they're comparing your style with what they do, and then when they see that you're doing a whole lot of other stuff, it's like, what is that for? What is that for?
Yeah.
It must have been something she did because
yeah.
my lash tech didn't do that before. And sometimes they're just misinformed. So you got to tell them. You got to
Educate
tell
them.
them.
Educate your
You got to
clients.
educate your clients because sometimes it's just a miscommunication, misinformation.
Yeah.
I have had clients that are like, how much do you charge? I can get that done at the nail shop. Ma'am. It's the same thing. And I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. And they're like, well, don't you just apply it to each lash? And I'm like, yes. Well, that's what they do. No, they don't. That's not what they do, ma'am. They don't charge you $35 to apply it to each lash.
But to each their own.
But if you want to go ahead,
your
boo.
own.
You know what I mean? But anyway, it's just a lot of miscommunication. Again, if you have a rude customer, just try to calm down.
Yeah.
Take
a
in
deep
what they're
breath.
saying. Take in what they're saying. And then I'm sorry. Maybe we're just not on the same page. You know what I mean? You don't have to rebook them. Do everything you can to get them out of your salon happy and on their way. And then the next time they book, you can decline it.
Yeah.
You can decline.
Yeah. Or
You
say
know
you're
what I mean?
booked. Say you're busy. Say,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so busy. And that's it.
Yeah, if you don't have a booking system, it's even easier for you to
Yeah.
decline them. Let me tell you what I did before. If I had a customer that I was just not clicking with, I just felt like she's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh,
She's doing
like,
too
I,
much.
like I don't like her. Like she's just her vibes.
Her vibes were just off.
Oh, it just didn't feel
Yeah.
good to me. Or she did me wrong, like she didn't show up, or
yeah.
whatever it was. Like,
Keep in mind, in my policy, I do have, if you do a no call, no show, you're blocked.
yeah, you can do that.
You're blocked.
Yeah, you can make those rules. So like, you know, back when I started, if somebody didn't show up, like, I'm not gonna book you anymore. You did me wrong. I was sitting there waiting for you, and you never answered your phone. That's rude. You know what I mean? And so whenever someone like that would try to book with me again, I'd say, I'm sorry, I don't have any available appointments. Especially if you don't have a booking system, they don't know.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if they're like, well, my friend just booked with you. Oh yeah, I just had a
last minute
cancellation.
opening.
Yeah, a last minute opening cancellation. That's why I booked her.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. Not trying to be rude to customers. It's just like, why do you want to come to me if we're not clicking? You know what I mean? So anyway.
But don't confuse not clicking with someone that's just, that their personality is just very like dry. Because there is people that are just very dry, very short worded people. Don't confuse that with, oh, they don't like me. So
just
maybe
because
that's
they
just how
don't have like
are.
a high personality and it doesn't match yours, they're trying to be rude. There's some people that are just very, you know, reserved.
To themselves. Yeah. Yes.
Very
yes,
reserved.
yes.
So let those customers be. If they're not being really rude to you, saying things that are just ugly to you, then they're fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get those two things confused. But so dealing with customers that are difficult, do everything you can to try to fix the issue if that's what it is. If they're constantly no showing you, block them. You don't have to book them.
Don't deal with that. Don't deal with that.
If they're trying to fight you, girl, get them out of there as fast as you can. You know what I mean? Like, there's some, I mean, sometimes it's not even the lash check. Sometimes it's the customers that are just too gangster, and you're like,
I'm like, huh?
girl, we don't do that here.
What'd you say?
Yeah, we don't do that here, ma'am. You know what I mean? So you don't have to see those people either. And if there's just some people that you're like, these are not my people, like, you don't have to book those either.
It's your business.
It's your business, right?
It's your business.
You see restaurants have signs all that time that say we can refuse service to anybody. You can do that too. But again, do it in a professional manner and just say, hey, you know, I'm sorry. I don't have, you know.
Hey girl, I'm not gonna lash you.
Like, no,
Don't
absolutely not.
Don't
you know what I mean? Just do it in a professional manner. Turn on your customer service voice. You know, sometimes we have a customer service voice.
Hello, yes, this is Alicia.
Exactly. Hi, hello. But anyway, turn on your customer service voice and just get through it. You don't have to book them anymore. Continue with your customers that you have. Those good customers are going to refer more good customers. And, you know, those are all going to be your tribe, your people.
You lose one, you gain 10.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, don't be afraid to lose one customer because she's rude. I had one of my students say, I had a customer that came in and she's like, how do you want your lashes? And the customer's like the other girl that you did. What other girl?
I did like 20.
You should know, you just did her. And she's like, and she didn't want to correct her because she was the first time that she was coming and she was older than her. So she felt kind of like, you know.
Girl, you can be my grandma.
And so
tell you.
I was just like, honey, you should have told her. You should have said, which one? Because I just lashed like 5 people today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe
Show
she,
me.
maybe
Take
she
pictures, take
thought that you were sitting
screenshot.
there all day since the last customer. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people really don't get that we lash all day sometimes.
Yeah. But communicate. I mean, all you
Yeah.
have to do is communicate to
Yeah.
them.
And she's like, I just kind of like was really quiet. And then when I gave her what I, you know, whatever she said, I was like, okay, well then should I just give her something light? I'm like, no, don't guess.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
guess.
Ask her.
Ask her. Like,
Yeah.
like this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she's like, no, or yes. Then you have
Yeah.
a better idea. But she felt so intimidated by her because she's like the last one you did,
Yeah.
that she was just like I don't know what to say anymore. And she just laid her on her lash bed. But you know, you don't, like, again, you don't have to take that. And I always tell people, like, make a joke about it,
Yeah.
you know, and laugh about it and put some humor into it. Some people would change the way that they're talking.
For
Like
sure.
sometimes when they feel like a little, I don't know, just off. And
Crack a joke.
yeah, crack a joke and be
Yeah.
like, ¿A cuál de las miles? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, laugh about it and be like, which one out of the 1,000?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, crack a joke about it, laugh about it. And then
Educate them.
yeah, and then they'll
Simply.
laugh about it too and be like, oh, I didn't know that
Be
you
like,
had
girl,
that
I didn't
many."
know you've lashed that many girls on
Yeah,
a daily
sometimes
basis.
they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
And so, like, crack a joke about something when they're in that mood, and sometimes it'll open them up to
Yeah.
you.
And then they become your friends.
and then they become your friends for
And your
real.
loyals.
Yeah, like they'll become your friends. And so it's just a matter of you knowing how to, and I don't want to say read people because not a lot of people have it.
No.
You know
But
what I
you
mean?
just-
Like sometimes you can't read people. I understand that. Like I'm very good at reading people. I'm an empath big time.
Be like this lady.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But
I'm
you
an
just feel.
empath.
You just feel.
I
Like
can read the
the
room.
vibes. Yeah.
I can read the vibe that you're giving me, and I can automatically understand if I need to change it up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But if you're not able to do that yet,
You'll learn over time, though. Like
you-
over
you
time, as you
will.
go, you're gonna learn.
you will learn over time. So just kind of crack a joke. It always
Yeah.
Yeah. works.
Mhm.
It really does. When you-
No, it does. For real,
yeah,
for real.
crack a little joke. It always does. And then, you know, smile at them a lot. Don't be the same vibe that they give you.
Yeah.
Just change the vibe, and the vibe will change also sometimes. But again, you don't have to book them if you don't
No.
really, if you're
But
just not
don't
vibing.
ever let them walk out with the power of talking about you. If
Yeah.
anything, you say, I had this issue, she fixed it, girl. Like I told her this and she fixed it like never before, and then that's it.
Or if somebody ever comes to
Yeah.
you and says, "Oh, I saw this customer and she said blah 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 blah," I fixed the issue and leave it like that.
That's it.
No, I fixed it. I thought that it was fine.
Easy peasy, lemon
Yeah.
squeezy.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, you don't have to deal with rude customers if you're in the middle of lashing them, or if you need to lash them for whatever reason. Get it done. Get it out
Yeah,
of the way.
get it over with.
Let them go happy, and then just never book them again.
Yeah.
Save your sanity. You don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to like just take in a bunch of people that are just
no. Don't waste your
eating
energy
you
and things
inside.
like that.
You know what I
Don't do it.
mean? Yeah. So number one, customer service, 100%. Learn customer service.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Learn some customer service. Don't reply.
I mean, it's just simply like treat others the way you want to be treated.
exactly.
That's it. Like I feel
Absolutely.
like that's the main thing to everything. Like
Yeah.
let's say you go get your lashes done and you don't like the experience they're giving you. Like
What would you
what
like
would you
for
do?
them to
How
do
would
to
you
fix
deal
it?
with it? Like put
Yeah.
yourself in their shoes and try to understand it from their
That's
perspective.
absolutely, I think, why we get it, because I think we put ourselves in other people's
Yeah.
shoes a lot. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm having a
Mhm.
bad day today, and that's why I'm speaking the way that I'm speaking. So
And you don't
I'm
catch
gonna
yourself
turn it.
sometimes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn it around. So you want to put yourself in that place of the customer and be like, okay, she's having a bad day, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me be nice to her, because
Yeah.
she's probably already had a lot of people be rude back to her.
Or we do have even ourselves. Like we do have those days, and we misinterpret the client being the one having the bad day. And before we realize it, like I've had some of my clients call me out. Like, hey girl, are you okay? You're a little off today. And I'm just like, girl, I'm just tired.
That's absolutely right.
Like I'm just really tired.
absolutely
and
right.
it's not always them. Sometimes it's us.
That's happened to me
So
before.
I feel like we've all had our off days,
Uh-huh.
but you always, and at the end, whenever that happens to me, I was like, hey girl, I'm so sorry. I was just,
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
I've
Like,
learned to do that now.
Yeah.
Like
and it's
whatever
okay to
I'm
admit
feeling,
it. You voice it.
whatever I'm feeling, I voice it. Like if I have a customer laying in bed, I'm like,
Mhm.
hey girl, how are you? And they're like, good, how are you? And I'm like, I'm really tired
Yeah.
today. And I've just been going through blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
I have some minor health issues sometimes that affect my mood. And so I've learned to just tell them, like, I'm not having a good day today. I'm feeling like this.
Yeah.
And they're
And they
like,
understand. They
oh, I'm
understand.
sorry that you're
Yeah.
feeling that way. I'm like, so if I am a little off today, just forgive me.
Please,
And
yeah.
they're like,
Please excuse me.
yeah, they're like, oh, don't worry about it, girl. I totally
Be
get
like,
it.
I'm sleepy anyways. Take a nap.
Yeah. So,
And they do.
you know, just, I don't know, just don't take those people in after the first time. It doesn't get better.
And don't take it up the butt either. Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, okay, if one didn't like your work, 300 other
I
people do
promise
like
you
your
they
work,
will.
and you're gonna forget about that one bad person. Like,
yeah,
it's
honestly.
okay. It's literally
Mhm.
okay. You'll be fine.
But it starts with you. Don't forget it starts with you.
Yeah.
So don't blame your customers for being rude or for doing this or for doing that
Yeah,
because
no,
it
no,
starts
no,
with
no.
your
Yeah.
mood, your vibe,
You
your
have full
customer
control.
service. Yeah. It starts with you. So, I don't like hearing, oh, I don't like this customer. Or, I don't, girl,
Yeah.
you're never going to make it if you're constantly criticizing your customers because it starts with you.
Mhm.
You set that vibe at
You
your,
make them want
you set that vibe to begin with. So if you're in that attitude
all the time,
it's going to
you're
be
never
that
gonna
way.
get it.
But if you're in that like good vibe, your customers are going to catch on to that and they're going to want to attract themselves to that good vibe.
You know what's crazy? That all of my loyal clients started coming to me when I first started lashing, like since day one.
Yeah.
And we talk about it now because obviously I've grown so much over the
Mhm.
past years. I'm just like, I always tell them, like, girl, I cannot believe you used to come to me and get your lashes to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're like, Alice, can I tell you something? When you started, I didn't love your work, but I loved you.
Yes.
Like, I loved your energy. I loved the way you
Exactly.
treated me, the way you talked to me, the way you welcomed me.
Yeah.
That it made me feel so at home when being in your room.
Yeah.
And for my ladies watching, y'all know who you are.
Yes.
But they do that.
Yeah, we have a lot
They
of
do
lash
that.
besties now.
Yeah. Oh, all
Yeah,
my
we
best
have a lot.
friends,
Yeah.
I didn't know them. I've never met them in my life. I saw them on social media,
Yeah.
but that was it. But now my best friends started off as my
That's
clients.
what I'm saying.
Like,
your vibe. It starts
it's
with
your
you.
vibe, yeah.
It starts
yeah.
with you.
So don't let one difficult client
Yeah.
take over you. One
Exactly.
difficult client, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
We deal with it.
But take care of
close it.
them. Yeah. Take care of them.
Yeah.
Get them out of there and never book them again and
that's
save
it.
your sanity and continue
Simple.
your good vibe, right? So anyway, let's recap. Rude customers, try to change the vibe. If that doesn't work,
Yes.
you don't have to rebook them, right? If they're complaining about something, do everything you can in your power to fix it.
Yeah.
And in the future, maybe just
learn how to read the room. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
no, yeah,
no, but you will learn over time. You will learn over
Yeah.
time.
like you just give exceptional customer service.
Yeah, and I mean, just simply, like I said, simply treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
So if
Put
you,
yourself in
if
their
they
shoes.
are, and maybe when they're being difficult, it's not even your work. Maybe they're just having a bad day, and you're just an easy target for them to
Yeah.
like desahogarse. Like
Yeah.
they want to just let it all on you because you're an easy target.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Sometimes we do have to take that and just. Maybe you can even turn their whole life around, their whole day around by
Yeah.
switching the mood, being nice. Like, hey, girl, don't worry about it. Like, we're going to fix it. Like, if you want to tomorrow when you're feeling a little bit
Yeah.
better, like, we'll take care of it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really it.
Do everything in your power to offer to fix that. Now, if they don't come back to fix it, that's on them.
Yeah.
But you did everything you could. Don't be difficult and say, well, I can't until like 4 days from now.
No, you make time.
You know
if
what
you
I
have
mean?
to do it during your lunch
Yeah.
break, do it during
If
your
you
lunch
have
break.
to do it to satisfy them, get them out of there, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do everything you can to provide that exceptional customer service. But don't just let somebody walk away unhappy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want someone to do that to you. So you have to absolutely think about how, like Alice said, how you would want to be treated. And if I went home and I was so unhappy with my lashes, remember that your lashes make up your whole face.
Yes.
And if I'm unhappy,
I'm over here like,
right? If I'm unhappy, then I'm not feeling good about myself.
you
And
look
so,
good,
yeah.
you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. So just do whatever you can to fix them. And if you feel like that complaint was enough for you, then don't book them. But most of the time, try to accept criticism and try
that's
to
what helps
learn
you
from
grow.
that.
Criticism
Yeah.
is what helps us grow.
And if you fix the issue with someone and it's not that big of a deal, they're your customer for life because they see that you go out of your way
to fix it,
to give them that exceptional customer service, to fix it, to keep them. You're trying. You're not just like, that's just another customer. You know what I mean? And our customers are not just another customer.
They become your family.
They
at the
become
end
your
of the day.
family. They, I have customers that are so sweet. They will give me a Christmas gift, or you know what I mean? It's just
Christmas,
like, this is so sweet.
Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's
they're
Day.
just the sweetest.
You just connect with them.
And so when you do stuff for them like that, they're
gonna appreciate you and respect you so much more.
Exactly. So you know, let's just have good vibes in
Yes.
our studios. Try to, you know, satisfy your customers,
Good
give them
vibes
exceptional
only.
customer service, and move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't dwell on it.
Don't dwell on it. It's okay. And don't be fighting nobody.
Please don't fight people.
Just
If
be
you
like,
fight
"Girl,
people,
bye."
you can't work.
Yeah, you
I
can't be
like to
fighting
work. I
nobody,
like to make my
girl.
money.
We don't have time for that. You know what
Pretty
I mean?
girls don't fight.
Exactly. We're
Lash
cute.
girls don't fight.
So move on from that. But anyway, I hope that we gave you some information
On how to deal with difficult clients.
Yes, on how to deal with some difficult clients or some difficult situations or some customers that fry chicken. I don't know.
And we help y'all understand more, like understand the
Yeah.
client a little bit more before you want to just
Yes,
attack.
understand the client a little bit
Yeah.
more. We're gonna have so many more segments on, you know, just conversations
that you can relate to and learn from.
that you can relate to and learn from, that you're gonna be able to just listen in while you're lashing,
Yeah.
listening in your car. I mean, we don't forget that we're on Spotify as well.
And
so,
Apple Music.
Yes. So
Well, Apple Podcast.
yeah, we're everywhere.
Apple Podcast.
So look for us. If you can't watch the videos, you can listen to it. Sometimes we have a lot of chisme. So you don't want to
time.
miss that. Yeah, we have a lot of tea time. I really do drink tea. So anyway,
I
tea
drink
time.
Red Bulls, but Red Bull time.
Yeah. Anyway, so stay tuned and watch our next episode. We're going to have a lot of information. We're going to have a lot of guests that you guys may know or follow already. They also give you guys a little
We're
bit
here
about,
to learn from everybody.
yeah, they give you info on their journey, tips, tricks, how they got in the industry, how they became successful. We just have a lot of information to
Too
give you
much.
guys.
Too
Yes.
much.
And of course, let's not forget, we are so grateful to our sponsors, the Lash Supply. Don't forget to follow the Lash Supply Official also on Instagram, as
For
well
great
as
supplies.
yes, as well as the Lash Live channel on YouTube. Subscribe, like our stuff, and we will see you guys next time on the Lash Live. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good.